Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhavatapa Pranashinne Ananda Ghanamurtaye Jnana Bhakti Pradayinne Matastubhyam Namo Namaha. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. Okay, today I will talk about, you see, I was very raw, like you all know. And to get onto the path of sadhana, there are a lot of things that you need to understand. Now, I at that time didn't understand anything. So I was given a lot of rules by Swami Bhaskaranji. And I used to always question him that why this and why, because I need to understand. If I don't understand and I'm just doing things blindly, it doesn't make sense to me. So he, initially what was happening in my life is I was a total non-vegetarian. And I used to eat onion, garlic, everything, when I was a normal person, when I was working. And I used to always be in jeans, I used to love wearing jeans, that is the kind of person I was. Now, before my Diksha, like when I told you that I had this wooden mandir in the house and all that, I used to sit and pray and do my own thing and do my own mantra and whatever I was doing. One day what happened, we had gone, I think, out to some restaurant to have lunch or something. And we had non-vegetarian food. My mother was a non-vegetarian, I was a non-vegetarian, my father was not. So we had something non-vegetarian and we came home. Now in the evening, as usual, I would sit down in front of my mandir. At that time I didn't have my Diksha. My first Diksha obviously was given by Ma, but that was at the age of 9. I was doing it, but not really doing it, So this thing came up that I have to do some little bit of puja every day. So I was doing my own thing, which I told you. I sat down in front of the mandir in the evening to do my evening puja, and as soon as I took the mala in my hand, whatever mala I had, there was a wave of something that came up. It said, "Chee, I'm so dirty." And I said, "Why am I dirty?" Because I had had non-vegetarian food. I said, how can I kill a life and then sit in front of the mandir? And there was Ma's photograph, Sai Baba. I used to believe a lot in Sai Baba those days, okay? I used to go to Shirdi. That was the only temple I used to go to. I used to go to Shirdi. And I used to consider Sai Baba to be my father and Ma to be my mother. That is how I used to do things. So in my little wooden mandir, I had Shivji, I had Ganpati, I had Ma's pictures, and I had Sai Baba's photo and all that was there. So when I sat down, I said, I'm killing a life and then I'm sitting in front of Ma and all that and I'm praying. Or I'm praying to Sai Baba, what am I doing? This is very dirty. I said, I'm very dirty. And I got up. I said, I can't pray like this, with this filth in the body. This is the kind of feeling I got. Okay. Now, what was happening those days was, my father was in America. So, every Sunday we used to order food from outside. Non-vegetarian food. Sunday was a non-vegetarian day. It went on. So, the cook was given leave on Sunday and we used to just have non-vegetarian. She wouldn't cook, she would just serve whatever we had ordered. Now that Sunday, one Sunday, I did not know how to tell my mother that I can't have non-vegetarian food. I don't feel like having that anymore and I want to quit. Because she used to have it with me. So I said, if I say that, she might just feel a little bad about it that, I'm not eating and she's the only one who's eating. And she may not like it that I'm not eating. So I kept quiet and that Sunday arrived. Now luckily that morning I was invited by somebody to somebody's house for lunch which was vegetarian. So I didn't have the non-vegetarian in the morning. Now comes the evening. Again we were having non-vegetarian. So I was sitting with my mother and thinking what to do and how to tell her that I'll skip my meal, And as soon as I thought that, there was a phone call from one of my friends in the neighboring buildings. And she says, what are you doing today? I said, nothing, we're just sitting by. So she says, oh, today was my daughter's birthday. And they are Marwadis, so absolutely pure vegetarian food they cook in the house. So she said, I have today, since it was the birthday, there's so much made. Puri, halwa, aloo ki sabzi, ye, wo, she told me the whole menu. So she said, should I send you a tiffin? I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to have non-vegetarian, and here comes the phone. You see, this is what was happening all the time. Even before my Diksha, the official one. So I said, please, immediately send it, I told her, So she said, okay, right away, I'm sending the tiffin, So the tiffin arrived. And I told my mother very gently, I said, I'm going to have this vegetarian food and you can have the non-veg if you want to. And if you want to share my vegetarian, that is also fine. So she said, I'll share your tiffin. Now she wasn't telling me what she was thinking. Next day, we had the vegetarian food. Now next day, I told my mother very gently, I said, is it okay that, from next Sunday, I don't have non-vegetarian, you can order yours, but I'd rather have vegetarian food. She said, my God, I was continuing having the non-vegetarian food because of you, because I thought that you wanted it every Sunday and that is why I was having it. Even I don't want to have non-vegetarian, can you believe it? And that's how the non-vegetarian went away from our lives, completely, okay? Now comes the time when I had my huge mandir, I'm talking about another incident. This wooden temple was gone by that time, and I had this huge mandir which I have already shown you people on my, video. So Ma is over there and everything. I used to cook bhog for Ma every day, lunch and dinner, both. But again, I was not aware that you can't serve onion and garlic. I wasn't aware of that. So I would, keep her thali ready and everything, and I would take it to the mandir, and there was onion and garlic and whatever, chutney if I have made or whatever I have made. And I used to serve Ma, not knowing that this is not done. One day that again the same Pandit comes to my house, and I had invited him for dinner. I said, Aake prasad le lo. So he comes, and then I took out the bhog thali. And I said, he says, what is this? So I said, ye bhog ki thali hai Ma ki. So he looked at it and he said, how can you serve onions and garlic? I said, what do you mean you can't serve onions and garlic? He said, no, you can't. Bhagwan ko onion garlic nahi chadta hai. I got the shock of my life. I said, I have been doing that all this while, and Ma, look at her, she's so sweet, she was tolerating all the rubbish I was doing. So I said, really, you can't serve onion garlic? He said, no. I again felt so bad. I said, if I can't serve this to Ma, how can I eat it? If Ma will not eat this, how will I eat it? From that day, the onion garlic was out of my life completely. So, in the house, there is no onion, there's no garlic, nothing. Obviously, there wasn't any. Today, of course, we don't eat that. Even in the ashram, obviously, it is not served. So that is how these little incidents went on. Then comes my Diksha, obviously. Before Diksha, I had quit all this. So after Diksha, I told Swamiji, I said, Swamiji, I don't eat onion garlic. I was a non-vegetarian. You're aware of that. Everything is gone. He said, oh, wonderful. I was going to tell you after Diksha or on the day of Diksha that these things are not done and you have to quit everything. I said, Swamiji, it's already gone. He said, that's wonderful. Then he started giving me a lot of instructions. He said, look, you have to follow these things, and if you follow, it will be very good on the path of your sadhana. I said, what is that? So he says, don't eat out. He says, don't go to restaurants or anything to eat. He says, because, I said, why? I said, I need to know why. He says, now supposing you're eating in a plate which has been served to so many millions of people in that restaurant. Even if they sterilize, even if they do warm water and, rinsing or whatever they do, and then they bring it on your plate, you touch the plate and you will say, wow, this plate is hot and nice and so clean. It is clean on the outside, but there are all the vibrations of so many people that are in that plate. So when you eat that food from that plate and come home, you must be very aware. First thing is, on the spiritual path, you have to be very receptive and very aware all the time of what is happening around you or what is happening within you. He says, if you come home and see you will notice, if you're very intent about it and think about it, come home and see your whole day, how it goes by. You will realize that day either you're a little irritable, or you're angry, or you're fighting with somebody, or you're not in a good mood, or any of these things might be happening to you. So you have to look within and see what really happened to you. And that happened because you were eating in something that has already been shared with so many different people. So it is a collective vibration that you have picked up and has come within you. So that is not on. So on the path of sadhana, you have to be very careful. You must have your separate thali or plate, must have your separate katori or glass, or anything that you eat in has to be your very own. Even if you're eating in the house, it has to be your very own. Now these rules do apply to people who have just entered the path. Okay? This rule was for me. I'm not saying it is a universal rule, everybody to their own. But what was given to me, I am sharing with you. So, if you tread the path very carefully, then things would be easier, because to enter a spiritual path is very difficult for people, because they'll ask hundreds of questions like they ask me all the time. I'm a householder, I have a family, what if I have to quit everything tomorrow? I said, don't look at me and take that as an example. Don't think that everybody becomes a sadhu. It's not necessary. You will go on from where you stand. Okay, wherever your level is, from there you will be rising. So it's not like everybody will become a sadhu. So whatever that is. Now, these rules were for me, but if you sincerely want to go on the path of sadhana, then yes, this was one of the rules. The second rule was about clothing, which I think I will continue in the next video because it's pretty long. Okay, so now if I do very long videos, because I got a comment from somebody saying that the video was very short. I agree, I'm trying to do short videos because it takes me a whole day to upload everything. And I'm not tech savvy. So it takes me a long time to upload one video. So if I make them shorter, they are quicker, and then you will see it in the next video. So there's no problem in that. Okay? Thank you. Jai Ma. Om Bhavata Pranashinde Ananda Ghanamurtaye Jnana Bhakti Pradayine Matastubhyam Namo Namaha.